How big a win is that?
Well, it ranks up there. There's no doubt about that. But I think with the kids, the coaches, the equipment manager, the trainer, those are the guys that deserve it. All the credit for this because they continue to believe. We talk about body language. We talk about passion. We talk about coaches mentoring players and getting them to buy in and believe. And I think that's what you saw out there today. Guys that were willing to commit to something that maybe some uncommon people wouldn't do.
What for you today? I mean, just all of a sudden.
Well, I think it's kind of I think it's this, that the more that we practice together, the more that we play together, the things that we emphasize and the standards that we set as coaches, if we emphasize those things during the week of practice, like emotion and being able to be there for each other, the family and stuff, I think that's what helped us win today. We stuck together. At one point in time, it was 17-point lead. They kept believing. There were certain times when we give them 45 yards of penalties. And that's uncommon for a team that's coached by myself because we work on those things. But they overcame. The coaches overcame. The players overcame, and they kept believing. And I think that's the one thing that led them. And they knew that they were going to win the game at the end. I really believe that. Just the look in their eyes on the sideline, offense, defense, and special teams. We knew we were going to get. I say that it's just we work on that stuff, and then to be able to see the onside kick, we work on that every week, and for multiple periods. And then the time when it shows up, it happens. Awesome job.
You're down 31-14 heading into the fourth quarter. What's the mindset of the team? What's the strategy going?
Well, the mindset is, hey, let's run the ball. Let's stick with our game plan. I felt that we could run the ball on them. They're a good defense. They're the number one rushing defense in the conference. I think number one in the country. So they have a great defense. I just knew that some of the things that we have, if the backs would get downhill and crease things instead of bounce things, then it turned into at the very end, hey, our mindset's a little bit different. Hey, show it and bounce it because they were jumping inside. Okay, so they were trying to stop our inside zone, and we started running some Carolina or some stretch bounce stuff. And that's what ultimately set up our passing game. When you can run the ball 2 weeks in a row, when you can run the ball, you're not going to get pressured a lot. They're going to sit back and they're going to try and stop the run.
2 drives of 90-plus yards there in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Just sticking to the game plan.
Sticking to it and believing in it, And how about that big 4th-down conversion by Damo and Jace, And how about the lineman protecting that thing, So keeping the plays alive. I think you've seen number 7 around here a few times keep some things alive and be able to connect with some guys. And I think that's what happened. They come together. They grew up a lot. And I think when we watch this film, we'll be able to find out a lot about ourselves and even the sidelines, being able to see who's all the way in, not just because we won, and because we still will have problems. There's no doubt about it. But this is one step closer to getting some of those things answered.
How concerned were you with the clock on that second, on the 92-yard drive, I think it was?
Well, I was concerned. I was going to punt the ball if we had it with 5 minutes because I knew our defense was playing well. They were going to try and kill it out, and with a run, I thought we could stop them. But at the same time, we kept making 3rd-down conversions, 4th-down conversions, and then right at the end, we had to be pretty smart with the clock management right there. I probably, thinking back and just in my mind right now, I probably should have called timeout when there was a minute 43 left to save about 20 seconds because we did something and the receivers were lined up on the wrong on the opposite side and they needed to really be on this side. So that alarmed me a little bit. But I thought we did a decent job of managing the game and getting it to a point where they wouldn't have many opportunities there at the end.
When you guys recovered the onside kick, what were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking, man, finally something that we work on all the time happened good for the Mounties today,
And your feeling when Chris scored that touchdown there at the end?
He deserves it. This team deserved that, and to be able to do it with a guy like him, who's all Mountie all the time, would do anything for me in the world. I love that kid, but it was a team victory, and the coaches and the team, they deserve all of the credit.
How does this change things going forward for you guys?
Well, I think that we got to get ready for Montana Western. They're a good football team too. I think they're 15th in the country. I think it will help us get back out to practice and keep the passion, keep the emotion, and we got to make sure that we stay on track. And if we stay on track and we get into 3rd and manageables, we're going to be successful. But at the same time, I promoted this week. It was EOU versus EOU. I didn't care who was out there. Eastern Oregon stopped themselves the last 3 games, and that's what we need to quit stopping ourselves and play up to our